Hello, my name is Elizabeth Rashid Cartagena. Welcome to Survive, Strive, and Thrive. Gaining confidence, skills, and attitudes for rearing healthy, positive children. Today we are going to be with the workshop number 2. It is a reflection of me. Who am I? We're going to start with an activity to help you relax and ideas of what tools that you can use to for your mental health or um, moments that comes that are very stressful as a parent or as a coworker or as a neighbor, um, as a spouse, that you can use to calm yourself down before you have to deal with the stressful moments. We're going to use this time a video that is showing you landscape and has music, and you can find many of these in the internet and YouTube, and we're going to do this one for a little bit. This is so relaxing. I would like to be here for a long time, just looking at all the scenery and the music. And so this is a tool that you can use relax and stop the stressors in your head for a little bit, and then deal with the situations. Well, last time we were talking about the perfect parents and the qualities that we talking about and thinking of how last week you were choosing one and start working on it. Hope that you did the exercise, because remember, if you don't apply what we learned, there won't be any change. And this information is to make you a better parent, but also as a better person. And when we have those tools, we feel good about ourselves and the change happening. So again, those were love, quality time, honesty, forgiveness, patience, attention, respect, kindness, understanding, caring, trust. Then some of them I will mention always not, but this is the more complete list. And every time that you apply one in your life, is that giving a gift to your child. When you're patient with your child, that has an impact on the child. It's like a gift being received. When you're kind with them, when you're caring, when you show respect, you're not yelling at them or calling names or belittling them, that is showing respect. When you spend time with them, when you show love in different ways, those are like gifts given to them. And that goes to their emotional bank account, like I said, and make them feel full and care and wanted to be around. And that they belong to that family and they belong to those parents that love them so much. Because love is not a word, it's an action. All of these are words, but when you put it in practice, it's the action. You cannot say I'm kind when your actions are not saying that. So all of these are actions. And we're going to start with this poem. And Dorothy Lee Nolte wrote this. Children learn what they live. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. Remember, they're going to copy exactly what you're doing. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. Because everything that is learned at home is what the tools that they have to then apply out there. So hope that all those things, the good gifts are in your life, so you are giving that to your children, and then they're passing that to other relationship or other things they have to do in life. So today, we're going to identify parenting style and understand how those styles, how you behave with them, affect their behavior. Sometimes the children are behaving in a way that the parents, we are provoking that with our actions. So you're going to need a paper, a pencil, or a pen, because we're going to type a test. And you don't have to share that with me, just for yourself. Okay? But find a paper and pencil or pen. give me a second here. And I'll keep talking. Most parents want their children to grow up to be healthy, positive, successful, and contributing adults, like we said last time. This unit, we're going to explore how parenting styles influence children's behavior. Next week, we'll see the difference between discipline and punishment, positive nurturing parenting skills, and how to apply principles of positive discipline in our children. It is expected that as a result of these activities that we're doing here, you as a parent will have additional skills to help your children in a positive, healthy ways when we apply what we have learned. Reflection of me. On the mirror, write words that feel describe you. How do you think this word might reflect your style of parenting? So how do you describe yourself? Write down the paper. So sometimes when we write down and think and write down, just looking at what we wrote, make us think deeper, because we said, wow, yeah, this is what am I? Who am I? There are many ways to look at parenting. One of the interesting ways to categorize parenting is to look at parenting styles. Usually, parenting styles are closely related to the ways in which people were reared. If a person was reared or raised by a parent who was very strict, used punishment, and expected obedience without question, the person is likely to parent somehow or somewhat like that. If, however, a person was raised by a parent who made few demands, did not punish, and established few rules, if any, the parenting style will often reflect that. So this activity is meant to help participants realize that there is a balance between a very authoritarian approach and a highly permissive approach to parenting that help children grow in positive ways. Predictors have been identified for children living with parents of each parenting style. The following provides basic information on the style and the predictors for how they think the child is going to turn out in life under that parenting style. We're going to have a test. I'm going to read the sentence. And if that is you, you're going to put number 1, X, or number 2, X. So if they're 10, or maybe put 15, right? Or 15 sentences. So if I read that and you say, that's me, so you put 1 to 15, and in the number 1, when I read that, you put an X. Because then we're going to count how many X's we have wrote in our paper. And please do this test because it's good for you. It's going to be revealing for you, and that's how we know who we are and what changes we have to make with the good of our children. And when we talk about our children, is our own children, maybe nephews, nieces, neighbors, children, it with any children. But with your own children, you are the parent. So, number 1 is, it is better not to have rules than to worry about breaking them. If that is you, you put an X. If not, don't do anything. It is better not to have rules than to worry about breaking them. Number 2, children can get along pretty well if you just leave them alone. Children can get along pretty well if you just leave them alone. Number 3, my work and home responsibilities are too stressful to worry about what the children are going or doing. My work and home responsibilities are too stressful to worry about what the children, I should say, doing. Doing instead of going. Number 4, my children won't listen to me, so I have quit trying. My children won't listen to me, so I have quit trying. Number 5, children should realize my work is stressful and I am tired at the end of the day. Number 5, children should realize my work is stressful and I am tired at the end of the day. If that is you just write an X. If not, continue. Let's go to the next. Children should do as I say until they are old enough to make their own decisions. Children should do as I say until they are old enough to make their own decisions. Number 7, children should obey parents and not talk back. Children should obey parents and not talk back. Number 8, I was spanked when I was a child and I turned out okay. I was spanked when I was a child and I turned out okay. Number 9, when children don't behave, right? I yell at them and threaten them with a variety of punishments. When children don't behave, I yell at them and threaten them with a variety of punishments. Number 10, I respect my children to agree with my decision without discussion. I respect my children to agree with my decisions without discussion. Number 11, children should be given choices. Children should be given choices. Number 12, sometimes children have a point. I try to listen to them. Sometimes children have a point. I try to listen to them. 13, although it takes hard work, parents and children should try to talk about family decisions and share their feelings about them. Although it takes hard work, parents and children should try to talk about family decisions and share their feelings about them. Number 14, children should be allowed to be who they are. Children should be allowed to be who they are. And the last one, number 15, I try not to criticize my children or call them names even when I cannot understand why they act as they do. I try not to criticize my children or call them names even when I cannot understand why they act as they do. Now, you count how many X's you have. With the scoring, identifying your parenting style. So if you have the most X's from questions 1 to 5, not the most amount in that area, 1 to 5. Your parenting style is permissive. We're going to talk about what is each of the parenting style. If you have from 6 to 10, the most X's in that area, you are an authoritarian person or parenting style. So if you have the most X's from the question of 6 to 10, your parenting style is authoritarian. If you have the most X's on the questions 11 to 15, your parenting style is democratic. And we're going to go one by one. So do you disagree or do you agree of that, the parenting style? If you know what it is, if not, just wait until we discuss all of them. All parents are some of which type? It's just there's one more that it is predominant. So let's look at each parenting style and how they influence children's behavior. So keep in mind which one is the high score that you have. From 1 to 5, you have the high score there is your parenting style is permissive. If you have the most X's on question 6 to 10, your parenting style is authoritarian. And 11 to 15, the parenting style is democratic. So let's start with the parenting style on being authoritarian. So this parent is demanding, strict, use punishment, allow no choices. This parent value obedience, order, and discourage independence because they have to have everything in control. They're the one doing everything. They dislike having their orders questioned. So why? And I say, because I say so, because I'm the parent. They may use lots of physical punishment, yelling, and threats to control their children. So having a parent that is authoritarian will have impact, because also they're rigid, controlling, demanding, punitive, unreasonable expectation because you have to act like a grown-up. Adult-like jobs because they're not thinking, having in mind the age-appropriate chores that you should have. Parents always are right. They never make mistakes. Parents make decisions for everything, clear affection, clear warmth, unexpressed ideas, feelings. Parents is in control. They're in control, either encouragement or praise. The prediction for a child living with an authoritarian, children reared by authoritarian parents are often children who lack curiosity and creativity and have limited independence. That is because there's a lot of no. I want to go outside and play. No. I want to play in the mud. No. I want to climb a tree. If you're watching me, no. So it is the creativity and curiosity is limited. The independence of, clean up your room or clean up, put your clothes in the basket. No, they're doing everything. I have known parents that the kids are in high school and they still using the clothes or clean the rooms. There are things that by age we can do at home to help that independence because one day they're going to eat. They have to eat, so they have to learn about some simple cooking or how to do their laundry and things that are basic when they're not being at home anymore. The parents, the child, they have power struggle with parents, the rebellion, lack of trust. Usually when they come to teenager time, they're rebellious because they're tired of that style plus all the changes in their bodies and so many things. These children may have difficulties with decisions because remember, everything is done by the parents and only follow the rules when the adults are present. Some of them say, well, my parents are not here, I can do whatever. Others are too afraid that don't do anything anyway. And they may have low self-esteem and can be mean because they're so angry of what's going on, how they are treating him or her. And that anger could be passed to their siblings. They become bullying of their own siblings or others in school. Just getting that anger to another person because they cannot do it with the parents. So that's the authoritarian. Let's go for the other extreme, that is the permissive. The parents make few demands, thus little punishment, if any, sets no rules, because if I get too many rules here, my child is going to hate me. Avoid showing authority. I want to spare my child. They're more responsive than demanding. Parents avoid control, high level of nurturing, communication, few rules, guidelines, inconsistent. Parents easily get frustrated, and you can see why, because you are allowing that child to run your house. That child could be a genius, but that child has only 5 years old, or only 10 years old, or only 15 years old. They don't have any experience to make any choices that are wise. They haven't lived to have all that information that make good decisions. The parents are the one. But in this style, the parent is acting like a child and the child as a parent. And so the parents get frustrated, yeah, because the child is going to make a lot of mistakes. They're not ready for that. And so obedience is not encouraged because who's in charge there? These parents are uninvolved and spend little time and effort with their children and guiding them. They complain that stress and work keep them from spending time with their children. Sometimes alcohol and other drugs can be a reason for their lack of attention because they are not all there. They're physically, but mentally they're not there. They're under the influence of the substance. So children are raised by a permissive parent. So the parents may lack self-control of the child, can be immature because nobody is guiding them. They have short attention span because everything is right now, I want it now, because that's what they're used to. There's no patience, and they be very mean at home. And that is unconsciously because every human being needs have to have that guidelines and those rules and those limits to feel safe. We don't want those limits. When we drive, we don't want that sign that says 40 miles per hour. But can you imagine? There's a reason for that sign to be there. Because you can find the same signs in the highway to be 75. But in that town, it's 40. There's a reason. But we don't want to follow those. But if we don't have that sign there, a lot of accidents going to happen. A lot of people are going to lose their life. So there's a reason. And so those rules keep us safe. And in the permissive house, that child doesn't have that kind of safety. And somehow they get comes like to be so insecure or in not sure all the time, that brings kind of like internal anger. So these students tend not to be able to follow rules. And imagine when they go to school or other places, they're going to be rejected, and they're going to be all the time being told this is not the way, this is the way, and it's a negative that is going to come to the child when it's not at home, in the home, at home. They learn how to blame others because it's not their fault, it's somebody else, have low self-esteem, and are easily frustrated. They may grow up to be school skippers and use alcohol and other drugs in their search for attention or escape of what they're experiencing. So this is how a permissive house or the child is going to, the impact is going to, those are the actions or the behaviors are going to show. So we have extremes, we're going to know in the middle. The democratic parent, although not perfect parents, have a better balance in discipline style. They set high goals, expect good behavior, set clear standards or rules or expectations for children's conduct, enforce the rules, and encourage independence. The children's right, the rights are respected and choices given. There is good communication and listening and more give and take. For example, their mom says something and the child says, but mom, at that time, I'm going to go with my friend. Can I do it later? And okay, let's do it later, but you have to be done. So that is like the give and take. The discipline methods are supportive rather than punitive. And we're going to talk about that next week. And consider the child and own feelings and needs. That means that I know the needs that my 4-year-old has, and I know that. For the 3-year-old that is frustrated because he or she wants to say something and they don't have the words, and they get frustrated and then get very angry. So I said, okay, she's 3 and she's okay, show me what you need. Point at it, and I'll show you. Oh, do you want to eat the milk? You want to drink the milk? Okay. And then you use that in that moment to teach them. This is called milk. And you say milk. Okay, and next time, remember that name next time. And if they point it again, it's like, oh, remember, what was the name of it? Milk. So use the word milk. So that is how it is, so I understand the feeling of the frustration, but also myself, when I am frustrated, when I am disappointed or upset, I say, okay, let me come back. Let me do those breathing techniques that they showed me. Let me go outside and look at the color of fall and the trees and see nature to calm myself. And then I will deal with the problem. So parents clearly are in charge. There are firm guidelines, flexible boundaries when they have to. They have high level of communication. They respect their ideas of the kids, their feelings, their emotions, their mutual respect. They have teamwork. They work together on things. They give and take, like I said. Parents accept the uniqueness of that child. They understand that every child is unique, is different. Just because I have 10 kids or I have 3 kids, they're all the same. No, every child is different. And that's why it's important to spend at least 15 minutes a day with your child. So you can see, it's like, wow, he really thinks like my grandpa. Or he has a humor, my humor. Or other people's humor, in the family. That's how you're going to get that known. So the parent accept that uniqueness. If the child is talkative, I understand that she talks forever. I have to let her know that too much talking with other people. Or I understand he's very shy, he doesn't talk too much. I have to approach him in a different way. Um, Also allow for mistakes because we are not perfect. Every time that Charles is drinking something, he spills. Okay, let me help him to, instead of put the cup close to the hand, let's put it in front of from the plate. So every time that he has to get the milk, he get it from in front of the plate and then put it back instead of putting on the right side or left or whatever side he prefers. Because when you move the hand, boom, there you go. The milk is all over the place. So I understand those things and help them not to make that mistake again. And I have to be patient until that happens. Reasonable expectation. I know my child is 8, and I'm going to send you a link of what you can expect every child in different ages. So I have a teenager. I know there are mood swings. Sometimes they think they are younger kids. Sometimes they think they're adults. And all those changes in the hormones in their body, understand that. Sometimes they're very happy, and then you go to the room and comes like, there's a monster there. And you understand that. So you expect that, oh, I know. I remember when I was a teenager. Yeah. And then you say, hey, you look like you're very English. You want to go outside and get fresh air and then come back like you're more calm because it's like the whole morning you have been being rude and things like that. Just go outside and relax and come back later. So you understand that instead of being very angry with them because that's the way they are. And healthy role modeling. Remember we're the teachers and they're going to copy us. We're going to encourage independence. At different age, they can do different things. And if you would like to know more about that, I can send you information of by age what they can do. Because we're working, this is a teamwork at home. It's not one person cleaning everything and the other one, making the mess. No, it's everybody. And when everybody works together, then there's time for being relaxed. We go places together because the house is clean. And I know that my child knows where to put the shoes when they come back from places or in the backpack, it's not all over the place. Because that influence, the order and the help influence in our mental health. You come so tired from outside or working and you come to a house that is upside down. That makes you the propensity of getting more angry is there. So when you come from outside that is so tired and work or whatever, you come home and clean and it's in order, you sit down and relax. The not having things in order and it's a mess visually affects your mood. And so those friends are also affectionate. So children raised by a democratic parent usually make responsible decisions because we have been a teacher there all the time, helping them to learn things and do decisions. They're independent. They have been taught about taking care of the things and themselves, have higher self-esteem and confidence because they know how to do things. That child knows that when they come from school, where to put the backpack and where to put the shoes, and he feels proud of that. And are better able to control aggression because whatever they feel, they can talk nicely to the parents and the parents can listen and they know that. And sometimes even for the different phases they can go through, they could be, other things that make them angry or something. they know how to handle that. They have closer family relations because they spend time together. Even when I make mistakes, they help me to know the way they should be. Higher self-esteem, sound decision making, and creativity because they know how unique I am and how things that I have developed or they can show me, and all those talents are there, and people recognize in the house how I am do things. And this one is like, who is in charge? And it's kind of like what we talked before. So how was your own parents? What was their style when they were parenting you? Is that this, now that you know through that test that you took, if you were the authoritarian, that you're the one in control of everybody and nobody can say anything, or the permissive, that the child is running the house, there's no guidance there, or you're the democratic, that you are in the middle, or your parents strict? Did they let you make any decision when you were a child? Did they use punishment as a way to control you as a child? How do you think you develop your parenting style? Are you doing the same? Are you, did you rank as the same parenting style? Do you have the same parenting style that you didn't like when you were a child? So all the things, these tests will help you to say, no, I don't want to be like my parents. They're not so strict that we can do anything. We cannot go anywhere. We cannot ask why you're saying that, because we will lose thank or we will be punished. I don't want to be like that with my kids anymore, my children. And I have found myself doing the same thing. I need to stop that. So all the things that test is for you to analyze and to think about these things that maybe you want to change or maybe you want to keep. In terms of control, how did your parents raise you? Did they focus on primarily on rewards and punishment, or did they encourage you to learn standards that you would use to guide your own behavior? How about your own children? Meaning, what was the focus? So the reward will be, we're going to go to this place, and if you behave, you're going to eat, we will go for ice cream. If you don't behave, I'm going to spank you. Or they say, we're going to this place and we're going to behave because that's not our house. We have to respect other people's house. We're going to behave because we want to have a good time with this person. That's a different thing. I'll give you the ice cream, or I will spank you. Or this is the way that we behave in other people's house. That's a very different thing. And maybe we were raised that way. So all of these classes I were receiving, this information is for you to think, what am I doing? What, I said, then I learned, we are not born with this knowledge. So the knowledge that comes is to apply it in teaching things or teach things that are healthy. So I'm going to give you some examples of situations that we're going to see if those parents are authoritarian, are they permissive, or are they democratic parenting. Jeremy and Sue are proud of their well-run home. Everything is in place, and the children do as they are told. Jeremy is frequently heard to say, You do it because I say so. I am the parent. Sue believes that if children are not punished when they break the rules, they will turn into juvenile delinquents. They both think that if they spend time cuddling and hugging and kissing kids, they will turn out into sissies. They yell at the kids every time they break a rule. What do you think is this parenting style? Authoritarian, permissive, or democratic? It is a authoritarian parent. Maria and Rodrigo have lots of fun with their children. They like to be with them, and they have figured out ways to include them when making decisions about family rules and consequences for bad behavior. They expect a great deal of their children and provide discipline as is needed. However, they try not to yell over every little thing, and they never use physical punishment. They follow through with consequences that have been determined ahead of time. They believe that it's important that children dress themselves and have chores as soon as they are able. They know that kids make mistakes and that often by making mistakes, kids learn valuable lessons. The parenting style is democratic. Number three, or situation number three, Haley and Josh believe that they are modern, sophisticated parents. They let the kids make many of the decisions about how they act and what they do. They believe since they are busy parents, both have jobs, their kids should have leave them alone when they get home. They show a lot of outward affection for their kids, but are easily frustrated because so many things seem chaotic in their lives. It is in front of the TV and often don't even use plates. When children disobey, Haley just ignore it because she's too tired to do anything about it. Haley and Josh frequently brag about what good friends they are to their children. Josh will invite beer for his team as long as he drinks it at home. This parenting style is permissive. Lainey is a single mother and struggles to make ends meet. She works a 40-hour week and juggles activities for her three children. She makes a chart each week of chores she expects of each of the children. They help her figure out points for each chore as the family decided how they will spend their points when they accumulate enough for a fun family treat. She expects to have all chores and homework done by the time she returns from work so the family can spend time together in the evening. This parenting style is democratic. And the last one, Trevor is a yeller. The kids can do nothing right, and he is constantly sending them to timeout or spanking them for the little things they do wrong. He often says things like, "Do as I say, not as I do. I did all the laundry and the household chore when I was 12, and I expect you to do them too. And can you do anything right?" He gets very angry when things don't go his way and believes children should be seen and not heard. This parenting style is authoritarian. So I hope this workshop has helped you to keep knowing you as the parenting style that you are and make changes as you see that appropriate to improve as a parent and as a person. Everything that you bring to the table, bring to the children's life, are going to impact. I'm going to impact their behaviors, and I'm going to impact the way they see the world and how they should be. Some parents in my other workshops that say, I would not want to be like my parents. They allow me to do everything. Sometimes I was, in some situations that were very risky. But I like it that way, but it was because it was convenient. But looking now back, I wasn't safe. Or the other one says, my parents were so strict. I would like to continue to teach the order and structure and the good stuff from that, but to be more fair to my children. So I hope this helps you a lot, the parents. This is the last part, and this here is the evaluation. Remember that this is not a live workshop, is recorded, and you have to bring that, copy that link and go to the internet and put it, and then it will go directly to the evaluation. The first two questions are the same every time, but the information that you're going to give me is different because you learn different things. What did you learn, and what you're going to do with this? Hope that you have a good week and that you keep thinking about this lesson and keep doing your small changes. And anything that you did last week of choosing one of the qualities and working on that, you can share that with me in this evaluation. There's a part that says, do you want us to know more? I think it's the last part. You can share that over there, what you have done for this week. So for this week that you are, thinking about the parenting style, if you decide to change something, you can share that the next week evaluation. So, thank you for coming and for being in this class, and so you grow more as a parent and as a person.